Pursuant to the Open Public Meetings Act, Chapter 231, Public Laws of 1975, this meeting was sent to the Asbury Park Press on May 24th, 2024, has been advertised in the Asbury Park Press May 30th, 2024. All municipal clerks in the boroughs within the regional district has been duly notified, and the requirements for the posting was met on May 30th, 2024. Please rise for the pledge. Let's come this way. I pledge
allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Mr. Descanso, any changes to the board agenda tonight?
Yes, Mr. President. In addition to the items that were noted on the agenda that was pre-printed prior to the meeting, the board also announced and was discussing the following additional items. For exception number 3, an HIB appeal and the student discipline report. For exception number 7, the board was discussing issues with the Pine Street property and the 2024-2025 budget.
Thank you.
So we have, next we have organizational items. We don't have minutes tonight. So we have organizational items just because this would be traditionally when our meeting would be, Mr. President. Our organizational items are C1 to C6.
So, now I have a motion to take C1 to C6. I hear a motion.
That was Mrs. Cappiello, and the second was Ms. McCobb.
Ms. McCobb. Roll call, please.
Yes.
Mrs. Lavin?
Yes.
Mr. Acetolo?
Motion carries. Okay, so minutes.
Thank you. I'm going to throw it over to Dr. Hazel for the superintendent report.
I'm sorry, Mr. President, just before we do have meeting minutes.
Okay.
So I apologize. That was kind of it's a little out of order because it's the organizational agenda.
Okay.
So we have the minutes from the May 14 meeting.
May I have a motion to approve the minutes from the May 14th Board of Education meeting?
Second.
I'm sorry, the second was? I'm sorry, Mrs. Bruno?
Mrs. Cappiello?
Mrs. Cappiello was first, yes.
Roll call, please.
Mrs. Bruno?
Yes.
Mrs. McCobb?
Yes.
Mrs. Cappiello?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger?
Yes.
Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mr. Parisi?
Abstain.
Ms. Lavin?
Abstain.
Mr. Acetolo?
Yes.
Motion carries.
Now I'm going to throw it
Yes.
to Dr. Hazel.
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Mr. Bruno.
Dr. Hazel, it's all yours.
Good evening. We are in the home stretch of the school year. Students are completing final exams this week, and our district is preparing for graduation on Thursday, June 20th, this week. And our raised graduation, our alternative program, is tomorrow. I don't think we have to worry about rain in the forecast, but we are going to have temperatures in the mid-90s. So, you know, this district has made provisions for additional covered areas for our elderly. We do ask everyone, and I know our building principals and our administrators are fully prepared with having, you know, water on site, but we want everyone just to remain hydrated, bring the water with you. It is going to be hot. Our graduations start at 3 o'clock, so we're in the heat of the afternoon. But we are super excited to celebrate and congratulate our 2024 graduates on their successful culmination of 4 years in the Freehold Regional High School District. So looking forward to Thursday afternoon to celebrate with our graduates and our families. And all of our board members will be in attendance for those festivities. Dr. Howell and I facilitated a farewell celebration for our executive student cabinet. All of our board members, we have 6 students who work in conjunction with this board and myself. And we are sending them on their way. We thank them for their service, and we look forward, all of you will meet our new executive student cabinet next school year. On this board agenda this evening, our 22-23 district grade report for harassment, intimidation, and bullying, which is required by the New Jersey Department of Education. It's a self-assessment review. It's in the areas of HIB programs, training, investigation procedures, and HIB reporting. The district grade that was earned, we have a perfect score, 78 out of 78. Each of these HIB grades will be posted on each of the schools' homepage. Also on this agenda, you'll see the LEA plan, the Local Education Agency Plan for Safe School Return to Instruction and Continuity of Service. This outlines how the local school district maintains the health and safety of our students and staff. This is really an outgrowth when we came back from COVID, but this is really 2 years in the works. But it is something that we review and assess with our team every 6 months, and we board approve it each year, and it is on this agenda to be approved this evening. You know, most importantly, members of our community and our board, we really worked tirelessly, in April and actually moved into May to approve a school budget for the Freehold Regional High School District. For several years, Freehold Regional has been extremely vocal within our community. We've been vocal with our state leaders regarding the need for change in the school funding formula, especially regarding the devastating cuts that were brought by Senate Bill 2. I'm happy to report that bipartisan support resulted in some legislation that provides some budgetary relief to the Freehold Regional High School District. Tonight, we will be proposing to adopt a modified budget, which we will authorize its submission to the Department of Education. The past 6 years have strained the Freehold Regional High School District as S2 reshaped New Jersey's school funding formula, and it's how they disperse the state aid to school districts. Those reductions in state aid with the inception of S2 totaled approximately $20 million for Freehold Regional High School District. While legislation last year provided temporary relief, that's when we had the reinstatement of courtesy busing for the remaining years of S2, this district faces an estimated $10.8 million reduction in state aid for the fiscal 26 school year budget. That's for the 25-26 school year, if that formula was enacted. Our budget, as initially adopted, eliminated positions in the district. It eliminated instructional support programs and deferred very important capital projects. New legislation signed by the governor, Governor Murphy, grants an opportunity to increase taxes above the 2% tax levy cap. This new legislation recognizes that districts have not been able to access their local fair share due to this 2% tax levy cap, and it looks to assist districts in recouping additional monies to get closer to the state calculated adequacy budget target, the amount of money New Jersey determines as necessary to provide a thorough and efficient education. Although FRHSD has taken issue with the state's calculation of local fair share, the current state calculation measures our community's ability to pay property taxes at $205 million. Going to the maximum of the 2% cap only provides $156 million. By making use of this new legislation, the Freehold Regional High School District will move closer to the calculated local fair share and in turn reduce the amount below adequacy by approximately 45%, moving from around $20 million under adequacy to $10.6 million under adequacy. This is a significant step toward reinforcing the structural integrity of the Freehold Regional High School District's budget. By increasing the tax levy through this new legislation, it becomes part of the tax base for future budgets to come. This will greatly assist with addressing the $19 million projected revenue deficit for fiscal year '26. This additional revenue will reduce the scope and extent of difficult decisions. Things that we faced before: elimination of courtesy busing, a look at participation fees, and others that were considered for fiscal year '26, which were noted in the budget presentation in April. This will put our district in a better financial position to handle the expected state aid reductions next budget year if that formula is enacted as is. The state does say that they're tweaking the state aid formula, but we don't know what that calls for, 6-7 months down the road when we receive our allocation for state aid. At this time, our district and our board has carefully examined multiple scenarios regarding what the tax impact would look like for Freehold Regional taxpayers. We're proposing a solution to restore a portion of the budget cuts planned for '24-25. With this revised budget, we plan to rehire staff members. This is a district that has abolished positions year after year through S2. We would look to reduce our class size. We want to restore instructional programs and supports, including our alternative program, enhance security measures, and address targeted facility needs. Targeted facility needs would be items of priority. There are still other things that need to be addressed in the district, but these are just targeted areas that are being addressed. Really the ones that are on the front burner that need to absolutely be addressed. We have worked as a board and as a school district tirelessly on behalf of the school community, including our taxpayers, to overcome the challenges we face with the school funding formula. This district, we take pride in sustaining our reputation as one of New Jersey's top-performing school districts, while maintaining spending well below the state's average per pupil cost. This has been a tough effort over the past 7 years, hoping that there'll be a little green light at the end of the tunnel. We're not there entirely, but this is definitely a step in the right direction. I want to thank the Freehold Regional High School District community for their continued understanding and support. I want to extend my sincere gratitude to our Board of Education, which has remained committed to ensuring that the Freehold Regional High School District is a source of pride for this community. Thank you, Mr. Bruno.
Thank you. Well said. There are no board reports tonight, I'm happy to say. And I just wanted to mention that communications are on file in the business office. And so we're going to start with you.
Yeah, so regarding the changes to the pre-printed agenda, we have some additions to 2 items. Resolution H2, this is on the yellow piece of paper back of the room and will be included on the final minutes, of course. There's an additional item under approval of appointments. Also on H5, approval of honoraria. There are 7 names added to that list as well. In addition, I-17 on the agenda that was pre-printed says resolution to be provided at meeting, which has been handed out to the folks here today. But I'll summarize it to you, and this goes to what Dr. Hazel was just speaking of. This is the title of the resolution is adoption of a tentative 2024-2025 school year budget. And in accordance with what Dr. Hazel was just speaking of, this amends the budget, the tentative budget, and the process is that is then submitted to the county office of the State Department of Education for a technical review. And once approved, then it's advertised in the newspaper, and there'll be a public hearing on the revised budget. That public hearing is scheduled to take place on June 27th, 8 o'clock, right here at the Administration Building in Englishtown. That date is left blank on the resolution, so if you would make a note of that, Board, June 27th is the date to fill in that blank. So the information specific to the amendments to the previously adopted budget are detailed on this resolution, and that is to be put into the I-17 placeholder on the agenda. And with that, that's all that I have.
Thank you.
And Mr. Bruno, I'm
Yes.
sorry, I did have one additional item that will be Resolution K20. It was a motion to deny the HIB appeal as reported and discussed in executive session.
So the agenda as amended.
Anyone here tonight to speak? No one's here to speak tonight? Yes, hi, hi. I know you. It's okay.
Oh, it was an awesome time.
And then Howard won the
Oh, awesome. Thank you so much. Yeah.
Thank you.
Yes, no, absolutely. I was talking with Mrs. McCobb, and I just could not believe how terrific that parade was, how the community, came out. I think your largest showing in all your years, but how well organized it was. I got there hours before thinking I was going to be so challenged with parking and getting through. Absolutely. The level and attention to detail and the preparation that your committee must do. I know Mrs. McCobb already said, she's already started preparing for next year's Memorial Day Parade now, and I could see why. So a special, congratulations, to your team and community. It really was an event, honoring, all of those that have, fallen for our country and who are actively serving our country. And really such a great way to bring the community together. Myself and my family truly enjoyed the event. So thank you so much. It did. It just they got it through.
I know. I went to farm. I looked for you in Farmingdale. I didn't see you. We had rain, heavy rain.
It was lovely, and I enjoyed myself. Yes, I think you just started the parade. And
Like 6 minutes before 12. I attended 12 with them.
Farmingdale had the downpour when people were lining up at 12, and then it cleared up, and then it rained again. So, but it is what it is. Okay, well, that's good. We're that in pride. Okay. All right. We're going to take H1 through H21. I have a motion. I can remove them now. I'm not sure. Can you speak into the mic, please?
Mr. Askew. Mrs. Bruno? Mr. Bruno? Ms. Capiello? Ms. Lavin? Mr. Cobb?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger? Mr. Parisi? Proceed.
H1 through H21. I have a motion to take I1 through J7. Motion, Mr. Farrell down there, and I missed the Capiello to the later than me. Roll call, please.
Any discussion?
Any discussion? Not hearing any discussion?
Yes, Mr. Bruno, I'd like to say something.
Okay.
This includes I-17, which is the new resolution.
Yes.
I-17.
Okay. At a recent board meeting when we were here talking about possibly going out and raising additional capital because of this legislation, I had communicated to the public that I would vote yes on any budget that included revenue that would be dedicated solely to the student experience. And as I have been presented information from the administration, there's a lot of items and revenue items in there that I personally do not feel are connected to the student experience. Therefore, I will not be supporting this. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. Any further discussion? Board members, any further discussion? We okay?
Mr. Asatola? Mrs. Bruno? Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mrs. Capiello? Yes. Mrs. Lavin? Mr. McCobb?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger? Mr. Parisi?
Yes for everything except on I-5, I abstain, and on I-17, I vote no.
May I have a motion to take K1 through L3? Mr. Carl and Mrs. Capiello. Nice and loud this time, very clear. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Mr. Asatola? Mrs. Bruno? Mr. Bruno?
Yes.
Mrs. Capiello? Mrs. Lavin? Ms. McCobb?
Yes.
Mr. Messinger? Mr. Parisi?
Yes.
I do need my notes. Anyway, any board member have new business? Go ahead.
I do. First of all, if I can put my parade vice chairman hat on for a second, I would just like to thank Dr. Hazel as well as the administrators from all of the 6 district high schools for supporting their students coming to volunteer for the parade. The majority of those 243 were from Freehold Regional High School District. Again, half of them, 119, coming from Howell by itself. So they did win the Alice McCobb Freehold Memorial Day Parade Volunteer Trophy for this year. And I'd also like to shout out all of the other winners from this year from the district, including first place Best Overall Judge's Choice Award awarded. All of these were awarded just earlier this evening, which is why I was late. I apologize for that. To Freehold Township High School Band, Best Overall. Second place Best Overall, Marlboro High School Marching Mustangs. First place Best Color Honor Guard, Freehold Township High School Band, first place. Second place was Cold Snack High School Navy Junior ROTC. Best Band, second place, High School Colonial Marching Band. And Best Overall Youth Unit, second place, Marlboro High School Marching Mustangs. So 4 of the 6 high schools were honored with awards this afternoon from the Memorial Day Parade. So congratulations to all of the winners. Thank you to everybody who came out, as well as my fellow board members for joining us that day. So
Thank you. Oh, you have to send that to me, please. Yes, thank you.
Anyone else with new business? How about old business? Anybody have old business?
Mr. Bruno, before,
Yes.
because I know that a certain representative from Freehold Borough is very quick with the usual last motion. We need to move to the action executive session to discuss the superintendent's evaluation. Or not.
Okay, we're just gonna walk out.
We have to go to executive session,
We're just
please.
gonna walk out and see you at graduation.
Wait, a motion, a
Oh,
second?
may I have a motion?
I'll make a motion to go to exec.
Second.
And then
Okay.
Mr. Parisi, all in favor?
And we will come back
All in
out and
favor?
close,
Yes,
but
yes,
there's
yes,
no
yes.
more business.
Correct. The only motion that will be taken will be a motion to adjourn. We will not be taking any further action.